Also, we would like to welcome today the newcomer Padaduli Mataji joined very early today. Uh, and also named Smita joined. And I was thinking it may be a Sitala Priya Devidasi from Toronto. But she said, no, I'm Smita. But then she logged off right away. So I don't know. So those spiritual warriors who made our journey successful today was Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, Yamuna Sundari Mataji, Ivy Gautam, Ravi Pipilya Prabhu, Vrajeshwari Priya Mataji, Govinda Gita Mataji, Rohini Natat Prabhu, Kasturi Manjari Mataji, Sistastika Mataji, she joined very early also. Parmeshwari Devi Dasi, always join early. Adi Gopal Prabhu, Amol and Smita Panchpande, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, Girivardhari Prabhu, Shriya Devi Dasi, Sitala Priya Devi Dasi, Suchinandan Krishna Prabhu, Manani Mataji, Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, Hanuman Prabhu, Prathmesh Prabhu, Nadia Kumar Prabhu, Samantan Swastika Panchal, Leela Manjari Mataji, Raga Bhakti Devi Dasi, Survangini Shyam Devi Dasi, Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu, Vrajeshwari Pran Devi Dasi, Sugandhraj Prabhu, Aradhana Devi Dasi, Janki Khan Prabhu, Lavanga Latika Mataji, Tapti Ghosh Mataji, Manmata Anand Prabhu, Shundri Radhi Mataji, Pandurang Devdas Prabhu, Damodarati Mataji, Shrikant Pankaj Gupta, Pranath Gopal Prabhu, Radhika Prem Devi Dasi, Devendra Krishna Prabhu, Divyansan Saloni, Vraj Vinod Prabhu, and Anand Vinodini Devi Dasi, Priyanka Mataji, Rukmini Priya Mataji, Kishore Krishna Prabhu, Namanan Prabhu, Prem Vinodini Mataji, Madhvi Gopi Mataji, Ganga Devi Dasi, Uttam Bhakta Prabhu, Vallabhi Mataji, Rajendra Prabhu, Abhay Prabhu, Vijay Keshav Prabhu, Amal Atman Prabhu, Gadadhar Chandra Prabhu, Tulsi Priya Devi Dasi, Jai Govind Prabhu, Badra Bharti Mataji, Sarva Tarak Prabhu. We missed Prabhuji yesterday. Amal Nam Prabhu, Barsana Rani Mataji, Govind Mohini Devi Dasi, Krita Lakshman Prabhu, Matangi Gopi Devi Dasi, Manoj Kapoor Prabhu, Kamal Priya Mataji, Karunamai Mataji, Radha Charan Prabhu, Abhay Charan Prabhu, Shukruti Devi Dasi, Kamini Priya Mataji, Sankarsan Prabhu and Manjari, Shundri Leela Mataji, Sarmishta Sahi Mataji, Mamta Mataji, Balram Prabhu, Kamlesh Tigra Mataji, Radha Vallabh Prabhu, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Harikatha Devi Dasi, Rasa Kida Prabhu, Anand Radhika Devi Dasi, Pitambar Priya Prabhu, Advait Prabhu, Chintamani Devi Dasi, Amit and Prem Priya Padma Mataji, Suchitra Devi Dasi, Sri Kumar Prabhu, Kamta Mataji didn't join today. Lekha Mataji today joined. Welcome back, Lekha Mataji, after a trip from India. Welcome back. Rasmi Mataji, Shrikant Survasya Prabhu, Nissan Sharma, Rati Prabhu, Nitya Navali Devidasi, Neeraj Srivastav Prabhu, Priya Kishori Devidasi, Praful Ananda Madhava Prabhu, Kartika Chandra Prabhu, and Padaduli Mataji and Smita Mataji. So let's hear the wonderful song before we will read from the Jaiva Dharma. Hare Krishna.
Mama mana mandire raho nishi din Krishna Murari Shri Krishna Murari Mama mana mandire raho nishi din Krishna Murari श्री कृष्ण मुरारी। भक्ति प्रीति माला चंदन, भक्ति प्रीति माला चंदन, तुमी नियो है नियो चित्तनंदन, तुमी नियो है नियो चित्तनंदन। जीवन मरण तव पूजा निवेदन, जीवन मरण तव पूजा निवेदन। सुंदर है मन हारी, सुंदर है मन हारी। कृष्ण मुरारी, श्री कृष्ण मुरारी। मम मन मंदिरे राहो निशी दिन। कृष्ण मुरारी, श्री कृष्ण मुरारी। ऐसो नंद कुमार, नंद कुमार, ऐसो नंद कुमार, नंद कुमार। अबे प्रेम प्रदीपे आरती तोमार, प्रेम प्रदीपे आरती तोमार। नयन जमुना झरे अनिबार, नयन जमुना झरे अनिबार। तोमार विरह गिरिधारी, तोमार विरह गिरिधारी। कृष्ण मुरारी, श्री कृष्ण मुरारी। मम मन मंदिरे राहो निशी दिन। कृष्ण मुरारी, श्री कृष्ण मुरारी। बंदन गाने तव बजो कजीवा। कृष्ण मुरारी, श्री कृष्ण मुरारी।
Thank you very much, Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, for playing a wonderful song. So we will continue reading the most wonderful chapter showing us Nitya Dharma and Vaishnava behavior. So I will read just one paragraph and then we will continue. Once, whilst performing Sankirtan, Sri Gauranga liberated a crocodile living in these waters. Thus the Lord delivered the crocodile just as Sri Gopal Krishna delivered the Kaliya snake many years before in Braj. So we will continue. A few minutes later, a discussion began about the unity of Gaura Lila and Krishna Lila. Soon, some more Vaishnavas from Badagachi arrived, first offering Danvat to the Gaura Ruda lake and then to the Vaishnavas, who received them heartily and offered them comfortable seats. Like a silent sentinel in the secluded kunj, an ancient banyan tree stood tall. Around the base, the Vaishnava had built a concrete circular platform. The tree was affectionately named Nityanand Vat because Sri Nityanand had been very fond of sitting below its fine branches. Now the Vaishnavas themselves were sitting under those same branches, blissfully discussing spiritual topics. At one point, an inquisitive young Vaishnava amongst the visitors spoke up respectfully. Quote, I would like to have permission to ask this Vaishnava assembly a question. Kindly pacify my inquiring mind. Unquote. Sri Haridas Babaji, a resident of the secluded Kunj, was at the advanced age of nearly 100 years, a very serious scholar, and among the few persons still remaining who had actually seen Sri Nityanand sitting in the shade of this magnificent banyan tree. Over the years, he had single-mindedly nourished the desire to breathe his last at this site. He seldom left the Kunj and then only to Pradyumna Kunj to meet Paramhans Premdas Babaji. Now he spoke up saying, quote, Sir, we have seen Paramhans Premdas Babaji here, heading up this assembly, so you should not have any concern regarding an answer to your question. The young Vaishnavas from Badagachi then inquired with humility, quote, Vaishnava Dharma is Nitya Dharma. I would like to learn in detail about the ideal conduct of a Vaishnava, especially toward other people, unquote. Sri Haridas Babaji glanced and motioned in Vaishnava Das Babaji's directions. Quote, My dear Vaishnava Das, a good Vaishnava and scholar such as you is rarely found in Bengal, especially nowadays. Hence, it is appropriate that you should reply to this question. Having associated with Sri Prabodhanand Saraswati and having received spiritual instructions from Srila Paramhans Premdas Babaji, you are most fortunate and a recipient of Sri Chaitanya's mercy. Vaishnavadas Babaji replied humbly, quote, Revered Babaji, you have seen Sri Nityanand, Sri Balram's direct expansion face to face. You have also associated with many spiritual stalwarts and instructed many devotees in the devotional sense. Therefore, please shower your mercy upon us today and educate us. Unquote. The Vaishnavas unanimously concurred and enthusiastically requested Sri Haridas Babaji to speak, and finding no way out, he acquiesced. He accepted. After first offering Dandvat to Sri Nityanand under the banyan tree, he began his dissertations. First, I offer my respect to all the jivas, knowing them to be the servitor of Lord Sri Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 685, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written, Keha mane keha na mane, sabat tandra das, ye na mane tara haya, sei pape nas. Quote, some accept him, whereas others do not. Yet everyone is his servant. One who does not accept him, however, will be ruined by sinful activities. Unquote. Again, next paragraph, quote, I always greatly appreciate this statement of the great saint, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, and bear it upon my head. Although inherently all jivas are the servant of Krishna, one class of jivas does not accept their positions of subservience to Ishwar, the Supreme Lord, whereas another class humbly accept this eternal truth. Thus, there are two kinds of men in this world, Krishna Bahirmukha, those who deny Krishna as the Supreme, and Krishna Mukha, those who accept Krishna as the Supreme. The majority of people in the world are Krishna Bahirmukha, amongst whom many reject any form of religion at all. There is a little to say about them, except that they have no sense of moral obligation, and their only aim in life is to increase their material power, rank, and wealth. However, there are those who are religious and accept a sense of moral responsibility for their behavior. For their guidance, the great Vaishnava sage Manu has stated in the Manu Samhita 692, Dhruti Kshama Dama Steyam Saucham Indriya Nigraha Dhir Vidya Sharyam Akrodho Dasakam Dharma Lakshanam. The 10 characteristics of religiosity are Dhruti, contentment, Kshama, forgiveness, nor revenging a wrong, Dhamma, self-control, remaining in control of the mind in spite of the presence of all allurements, Asteya, honesty, Shaucham, cleanliness, Indriya Nigraha, withdrawing the senses from the sense object, Diha, scriptural knowledge, Vidya, education, knowledge of the soul, Satyam, truthfulness, awareness of reality, and Akrodha, freedom from anger, to be not angered when provoked. Unquote. Next paragraph also quote, of this, Dhruti, contentment, Dhamma, self-control, Shaucha, cleanliness, Indriya Nigraha, withdrawing the sensitive Dihi, spiritual knowledge, and Vidya, knowledge of the soul, are the six duties and characteristics directed toward oneself. Whereas Kshama, forgiveness, Asteya, honesty, Satyam, truthfulness, and Akrodha, freedom from anger, are the four obligations towards others. However, the duty of worshipping the Supreme Lord Sri Hari is not clearly delineated in any of these 10 characteristics, which have been enumerated to encourage us in following the moral religious principles. Furthermore, it cannot be said that human life becomes pure and perfect by only developing these characteristics. In the Vishnu Dharmottara, which is quoted in the Hari Bhakti Vilas 10.317, it is explained, Jivitam Vishnu Bhaktasya Varam Pancha Dinani cha Natu Kalpa Sahusrani Bhakti Hinasya Keshave. If a devotee of Sri Vishnu stays in this world for even 5 days, it is a great blessing to humanity. However, if a non-devotee, one who has no devotion for the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, lives in the world for hundreds of aeons, it will not benefit humanity. In fact, it will usher in misfortunes. Another paragraph quote, a person who is not a devotee of Krishna cannot be labeled a human being. Without devotion, men are mere beaked animals, not humans. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.19 states the same. Swavid varahastra karai samstutah purusha pasu nayat karna pathopeto jatu nam gadagra jaha. Men who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses praise those men who never listen to the transcendental pastime of Sri Krishna, the deliverer from evils. However, the present inquiry is not about the duties and responsibility of those unfortunate persons mentioned above. The discussion is regarding the conduct of a devotee toward the people in general. Those who have embraced this path of bhakti are divided into three groups: Kanistha, neophyte; Madhyama, intermediate; and Uttama, topmost. The first of this type is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.247 in the following verse. Archayam eva haraye pujam ya shraddhaye hati na tad bhaktesu chanesu sa bhakta prakuta smita. If prakruta, materialistic devotee, does not purposefully study the Shastras and try to understand the actual standard of pure devotional service, consequently, he does not show proper respect to advanced devotees. He may, however, follow the regulative principle he has learned from his spiritual master or family tradition and worship the deity in the temple. He is to be considered a being on the material platform, although he is trying to advance in devotional service. Such a person is Bhakta Praya or Bhakta Abhas, a neophyte devotee, for he is just but a little enlightened about the Vaishnava philosophy. One who worships the deity of the Lord with faith, but neither respect the created living creature of the Lord, nor worship and serve his devotees with devotion, is a Prakruta Bhakta. Already it has been established that Shraddha is the seed of bhakti. To worship the deity of the Lord with Shraddha, to certainly bhakti. But without worshipping and serving the devotee of the Lord, one cannot execute Shraddha Bhakti. This position of serving the Lord, but not his pure devotee, can be described as being, at best, a step inside the portals of the realm of bhakti. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:84-13 explain Yasyatma buddhi kunapetri dhatuke swadehi kalar tradisu bhauma jivadi yat buddhihi salilena karhi chij jhanesu abhijnesu sa evago karaha. One who identified his self as the inert body composed of mucus, bile and air, who assumed his wife and family are permanently his own, who thinks an earthen image or the land of his birth are worshipable, or who sees a place of pilgrimage as merely the water there, but who never identified himself with, feels kinship with, worship, or even visit those who are wise in spiritual truth. Such a person is no better than a cow or an ass. The purport of these verses is that without worshipping the deity of the Lord, one's bhakti cannot even begin. If one rejects the personal deity form and enter into argumentative debate in a futile attempt to attain spiritual knowledge, then the heart becomes dry and hardened, and the true goal of bhakti is lost in bewilderment. However, the worship of the deity should be performed with ever increasing Shuddha Chinmaya Buddhi, transcendental consciousness. Though living in this material world, the Jiva is Chinmaya Vastu, a conscious spiritual entity. And amongst all the Jivas, the Krishna's Bhaktas are endowed by the Lord with Suddh Chinmaya Buddhi. Both Sri Krishna and his Bhakta are purely spiritual beings. And to comprehend properly the transcendental position, Sabandha Gyan knowledge of the interrelationship between Shakti, Jiva, and Sri Krishna is imperative. If deity worship is conducted with Sabandha Gyan, then the consequent transcendental understanding will naturally stimulate Bhakta Seva, spiritual service to the Lord's devotees, and the transcendental esoteric perceptions and service of the deity. When there is a perfect marriage of Shraddha with transcendental understanding, then this is called Shastriya Shraddha, faith based on proper scriptural conclusions. In contrast, deity worship, bereft of a clear and correct concept of Sambandha Gyan, is conducted on the level of mechanical, ritualistic, Laukika Shraddha. Hence, we deduce that although this is the initial stage of bhakti, it is certainly not Shuddha Bhakti. This group of devotees has been described in the Hari Bhakti Vilas 155 as follows. Gruhita Vishnu Dikshako Vishnu Puja Paranaraha Vaishnavo Bhihita Bigner Itaroshmat Avaishnavaha. One who has been initiated with the Vishnu mantra in accordance with the regulations of scripture and is worshipping the deity of Sri Vishnu is considered a Vaishnava by the learned scholars. All others are non-Vaishnavas. Kanishta Vaishnavas or Prakuta Bhakta are those who have received initiation from hereditary Kula Gurus out of family traditions, or those who feel sentimentally inspired upon seeing others worshipping the deity of Sri Vishnu and so then worship the deity in imitation, or those who have accepted initiation into the Vishnu mantra with Lokika Shraddha. They are not in the category of Suddha Bhakti. These unrefined devotees are on the level of Chaya Bhakti Abhas, a shadow-like semblance of Bhakti. However, they are above those on the platform of Pratibimba Bhakti Abhas, or reflective distorted semblance of Bhakti. Because Pratibimba Bhakti Abhas, being offensive in nature, is devoid of actual Vaishnavism. A person elevated to Chaya Bhakti Abhas is immensely fortunate because from this preliminary stage, he may be eventually promoted to the Madhyama Vaishnava and Uttama Vaishnava platforms. So time has reached that we should stop. We should be punctual. With those thoughts, we will get so many information by reading this book. So we should feel so happy that somehow or other Krishna has made the arrangement for us so wonderfully to progress in our spiritual path. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word that their life also becomes successful and joyful and with no fear in the life. So with those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of the devotees who take so much austerity. Like, today we were before 3:30, we have about 21 devotees were there on the call. Amazing. And we are sharing something to that group of people who join. And we have made an announcement that whoever join tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the morning, there will be a special session of chanting in unison among the devotees. So if you feel inspired, you can try. No force. If your heart feel content to attend, then you can do so. Otherwise, there are some devotees that they will join. So with those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances to all these Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who take austerity to join every single day from Houston, from India, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Alachua, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Tempe, Phoenix, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Brampton, and New Orleans. Panchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhaya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much. If Krishna's so desired, we will see you tomorrow morning at